I talked about a lot of games this year, but I actually only played a handful, mostly because I was too busy writing scripts and scrolling through various dumpster fire websites. But when I look back on what I did play, there are a lot of great games and even more amazing demos. So I'll go through the full games first and then move on to the demos, most of which I've created entire videos dedicated to already. Resident Evil. I played 3 different games in the series this year, my first time ever, but it's this one that stood out to me the most. Specifically, this is the HD remastered version you can get on Steam, but it still blows my mind that the original was released before I was born. The series officially turned me into a survival horror fan and has led me to find some super promising upcoming titles in the genre too. Perhaps the exact opposite of Resident Evil is Driftwood, an early access longboarding title featuring the world's fastest sloth. I played right after launch, and even back then it was already super smooth and addicting to chase high scores and shave down your time. I can't wait to see more levels and costumes be added and follow along with the shenanigans of Stoked Sloth Interactive. Beton Brutal and its DLC, Beton Bath, are quite atmospheric, which directly opposes their heart-pounding, sweaty-palmed gameplay. This is a first-person parkour game set inside a towering megastructure. I never made it anywhere close to the top of either of these maps, but they say life's all about the journey, not the destination, right? Jedi Fallen Order was on sale for about $4, and it totally surprised me. I had a ton of fun collecting all the game's achievements and running around like a maniac in space. Maybe one day when Jedi Survivor is also $4 and less broken, I'll play the sequel too. The game I played for the most amount of hours was Sea of Stars. It felt like a good old-fashioned pixel RPG, and the exploration especially is top-notch. I also loved the minigame Wheels, and I'm still waiting for someone to build this board in real life. It's beautiful, the music is great, combat is meh, but I think everything else more than makes up for it. Outpath is an experimental clicker base building game that reminds me a lot of my first few times playing Minecraft. Except this time your world is much more condensed into these small islands, and your focus is shifted from survival to farming certain resources and automating the entire process to unlock new areas, and repeat. Even to me, that premise doesn't sound that interesting, but it's the execution that really seals the deal. You can take your time doing whatever you want, building up your base, decorating, and there's no pressure or guidance. Just experiment and see what you can figure out. And the last full game I played was Pentiment. I was originally planning on putting out a 1 year later type review for this one, but I got busy and I honestly don't have too much to say about it. If you want to be immersed in a story that takes place in a believable world with tons of characters and gossip and relationships to juggle, well, here's Pentiment. And now on to the demos, all of which you can download right now unless otherwise noted. Horticular, a simple yet addicting garden builder featuring magical gnomes, a plethora of plants, and plenty of little critters. I've seen a ton of people comparing the game to Viva Pinata, which I never played, but this is one of those demos that almost feels like it could actually be a full game. I spent hours arranging my flower beds and trying to attract frogs to my pond. There's so much to look at too. The story on top of it all is a nice bonus, and I'm really looking forward to a progress update, hopefully sometime soon. Gob is another fantastic one and can be finished in just 20 minutes or so. It's a point-and-click style game where you play as this clay dude wandering around these tunnels. This trailer makes it look like more of a horror game, but I found it to be pretty cute and quirky and definitely intriguing. The demo for Samurai Unicorn is only available to members of the developer's Patreon page, but the experience is definitely worth the price of admission. Classic survival horror with a dark dystopian twist that runs super smooth and has just the right level of challenge. It's been super fun keeping up with the game's development over on Patreon, and I can't wait to see what they do next. Keeping with this horror theme, Holstin actually has 2 demos available. The first, which lets you explore an abandoned house and solve some environmental puzzles, and the second, which throws you into some combat scenarios in the tunnels beneath a corrupted town. And even better, we should be getting the second demo's Molotov update any day now. And now for a couple more wholesome games. Bugaboo Pocket is a super charming, bite-sized game about raising and caring for a variety of bugs as you help your local ecosystem recover from a devastating wildfire. Play mini-games, decorate terrariums, and get to know each and every critter's unique personality. The demo for the magical afterlife adventure Hauntii unfortunately isn't available to play anymore, but maybe the devs will put it up again before the game releases next year. It's about a ghost who's stuck in this spirit-filled realm and has the ability to haunt nearby objects and creatures. My favorite thing about Hauntii has to be the detailed line art that is just absolutely packed with detail, and the lighting effects that give this dark place some sparkle. Balatro is another one with very pretty effects, almost hypnotizing. It's a poker-inspired roguelike, and it's honestly my favorite game in the genre, and the full thing isn't even out yet. But you can and probably will play this demo for many hours, unlocking wacky new cards and figuring out some pretty cool synergies that are sometimes so powerful it just becomes funny. And this last one, Another Crab's Treasure, also has a demo that's not available anymore. It's a very colorful undersea Souls-like that kinda tore me apart. But I persevered and ended up having a wonderful time exploring these polluted waters and trying not to get totally clobbered. I have been wanting to play Elden Ring for a while now, so maybe this will be a nice warm-up before I jump into my first FromSoft experience. Or who knows, Another Crab's Treasure might just break me completely. So that's what I enjoyed playing this year, and I have a feeling that the list I make in 2024 will be even more packed with wonderful games and memories. Until then, let me know what you played, and feel free to check these out.